Hello and welcome to Bait or No Bait, Top 10 Edition. Now, due to recent circumstances, of which we will not name any names, the one golden build we had among us has fallen into the bait category. And when we searched extensively far and wide to find non-bait starters, we found only disappointment, because out of everything there was not one not bait starter. So unfortunately, the best we can do is advise you to avoid the top 10 most bait creators. Thus, you only get baited slightly on your league start and can minimize the downside of an ultra omega bait build creator. Now, let's get into the top 10 list. Let's get into the list. Starting at number 10, we have the theoretical 7 out of 7. This man will go on continuously claiming he will do 7 out of 7, no questions asked, easily, with confidence. But when it comes down to it, when the rubber meets the road, you know he will turn into a variety streamer before he has completed one Uber. I, of course, am talking about Quinn69 himself, the theoretical 7 out of 7, because as far as I am concerned, it probably will never happen. Do not trust this man, avoid his builds at all costs. After Quinn coming in at number 9, we have the Ripper. He's been on record saying that's a bug about 100 times, and he has reinvented the Worm Blaster meta. Not because the worms actually are killing things, but because he invented the meta to show you how you could most effectively create content for your viewers by having the worms kill you via chainhook. I, of course, am talking about the Bone Zone god himself, Karn, the Ripper. Not because he kills things, but because he creates the best rip clips of all time. Moving on to number 8, we have the General. Every league he comes out with his build list, quote unquote. Now this is what I would caution you against, because this man has never actually made his own build. He mostly just copies current meta builds and then shows that they can be fast and quits in 2 days to play RuneScape. I, of course, am talking about the Garf General himself, Tai Killer. Avoid his advice at all costs, because he actually has no idea what he's talking about. And if you follow in his footsteps, you too will be playing RuneScape by day 2 of the league. Next up at number 7, we have the Copycat Ninja. I'm not, of course, talking about Hitachi, but actually the man who's known for copying the cat's builds, cutting the damage and defense in half, removing the quality of life, doubling the cost, and then printing the build out in mass to the public. Tripolar Bear, the redistributor himself, a content creator who you should never trust. Please avoid at all costs. Coming in at number 6, we have the Producer. The Producer, not because he produces good builds, but because he produces a lot of children. One who he's training to be a future vandalist, and the other who he is teaching to be a waterboard interrogator. I, of course, am talking about Captain Lance 9. Do not trust this man's builds, for they are all bait. He has not produced a good build ever in his life. And on top of that, he is on the no-fly list. Do avoid if you see him in public. Following up, number 5, we have the Staller. This man will make you wait for an eternity. He will find every possible extra thing to do besides the thing he said he was going to do today, chat. If he says, for example, I am going to do X boss today, chat, this can generally translate to I will do this boss potentially in the next 7 days, maybe a month. You never know with this man. Of course, he will keep you around, making you think the content is going to happen, that it's on the precipice of occurring, but in reality, you are just being stun-locked yourself into watching his stream. I, of course, am referring to Stallmage himself, and I would say, if you want to value your time and watch content actually occur, you would avoid this man at all costs, because he will stall you out of your lifespan. With a strong follow-up at number 4, we have the Pretty Face. Most of us watch him, of course, for his pretty face. That's why we subscribe to him. But besides his pretty face, if you get subdued by it, you may find yourself playing Caustic Arrow Ballistas, a complete totem cuck, a loser at life, and you'll regret everything. I, of course, am talking about none other than Palsteron. He might act like he's your friend. You might think he's your pal, but don't be fooled by the pretty face. You have just been baited. Of course, Palsteron has nothing on our next guy on the list, who has his fingers in every pot there is. I'm, of course, talking about the man behind the curtain. He is somebody subtly subduing the entire PoE player base into bait builds, and he works with some of the top baiters in the business. He has a collaboration with none other than the Ripper. He's been known to have worked with the Pretty Face. He even has collaborated with number 11 on our list, the ageless man Subtractem himself. Of course, this man is far-reaching. His influence is there. You might think I have avoided a bait build, but little do you know, there's a good chance he has influenced you in some way, shape, or form. I am talking, of course, about Zizin. This man is everywhere, baiting everyone all the time. Do not trust him. He smiles, he waves. You might think he's your friend, but he is just there to bait you just like the others. Be wary of Zizin. Next up at number 2, we have The Economist. This man will tell you he's a good financial partner. He will say, together we will rule the economy. We will create the mirror shop to rule them all. Just hand me your bow, Exile. I definitely will make good financial decisions. That is going to be roughly 1 minute before he pulls out a hatred essence and destroys your together financial investment, sending you into poverty. I, of course, am talking about Spicy Sushi, The Economist. Do not go into financial collusion with this man, for you will end up broken more than you realize. Please avoid poor investments with The Economist. Which leaves us to our number 1 spot on the list, the GGG Snitch himself. The Snitch has been known on record to have prevented a Spellslinger buff. If you're wondering why Spellslinger's been dead all these years, it's his fault. If you might be thinking, how has Gladiator been dead so long? Guess what? He's on that too. He's pretending Gladiator's good and thus preventing Gladiator's buff. If you might have been thinking, where were the Assassin buffs this league? Boom, he's got you right there too. Assassin, S-tier bosser. With titles like these, you can be sure they're never going to be buffed. And on top of that, out of nowhere, what is the Stormbrand traps? Is this guy even trying to pretend he's not baiting us? He's lost his mind. Truly, if you see Jungron the Snitch, you need to know you've been baited, Exile. Trust your instincts and avoid this man because he only leads the right-hand nerf hammer of GGG as the undercover agent that pretends to be our friend when in reality he is none other than just a dirty snitch. This concludes our list. Thank you for watching, Exiles. Hopefully you enjoyed the Bait or No Bait broadcast, and make sure to avoid these baiters at all costs. Now, on Real Talk, I just want to say, I wanted to do a lot more people on this video, but I just ran out of time. I feel bad about it, but quite frankly, believe it or not, I know using kids is a bad excuse, but quite frankly, my life it's very hectic, and the amount of time I have to be doing things outside of the stream, like making a video like this, it's pretty non-existent. So I threw this together kind of haphazardly. Hopefully the quality was okay. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. As always, thanks for watching, Exiles, and take care. Have fun on League Start, guys. Peace out. You guys are awesome.